2019 the wedding of Miss International the chairman specified life at a country state. Stood next to be presenter Pierce law Paul Deck. He living it was few years away. Years away. Promoter was closer to the action. David Cameron hung back up the slope. Gordon Brandon promised a right play with all eyes turning to as he walked out to the lake. I had a brief conversation with Mr. Cameron. I said I hoped he would not win the upcoming election, but that if we did and if we wanted to act to improve political debate and standard in the press, I would support him. For some time, the journalists in me had known that the relationship between politics and the media was not serving the public, but it was my first-hand experience of thus developing cultural views and negativity that convinced me British press and 24-hour news were making it more difficult for the leader to govern. It's got worse, hasn't it? He said. I replied that he would be a much stronger prime minister were he to take office, not feeling he owed anything to the big media group. At that point, Mr. Murdoch joined us, and we changed the subject. Perhaps we should not have done so. That we did, however, illustrated something of the dishonesty at the heart of what essentially political and commercial relationships. It is not easy what admirable last week. Make himself an enemy of some of the media's most powerful forces. He was right that Levy got too close to News International, but he was also right that, given the media bias against us, he knew why we tried to level the playing field. In my own defense, as my diary shows, argued for some years with Tony Blair that we needed to act on the culture of our media. At one point, he ticked me off. Asking that I not make views so obviously from Mr. Murdoch, his son James, and Lexington, then chief executive of News International. Ultimately, Mr. Blair thought the press had become a problem, but that given our other priorities, people would not understand our taking them on. He also thought it would look like revenge for the fact they had turned against us. And there were political restorations too. Trying to govern and win election is hard enough without the press being against you. Except that for all of us, at times media support was something we courted at the expense of positions of principle on media issues. But that chair has now been sprung. The latest revelation have forced the police, News International, and the government to act. The police will now be more vigorous. News International will continue with their kamikaze crisis management, which one day will be studied as a textbook case of how not to do it. But the most important developments are the Prime Minister during inquiries into press practices and a new system of regulation. These mean we now have once in a generation opportunity for a new settlement between politics, the media and the public. Nobody can argue that we have the press we deserve. Pressure by technological change, kind of. Parents' media has gone into a spiral of decline, in which this scandal is only the most dramatic development. Mr. Cameron did not look comfortable announcing the reviews. He has personal relationship at stake, and given he hired Andy Carson as his communications director, his judgment is too. Already the backlash from part of press has begun as they seek to maintain that anything but toothless regulation is an assault on the free press. But Mr. Cameron must stand back from all that and ask himself what is the right thing to do. He did some of it last Friday. The judicial inquiry should be far-reaching. The news of the law is far from alone the use of dubious and legal practices, as widely ignored report from the Information Commission have shown. Part of British media reminds me of the trade union before Mrs. Thatcher. They feel untouchable. As I say above, Labour could and should have done more to deal with the therapist. But just as the impeachment Spencer scandal emerged from the failure of Mrs. Thatcher's government to tackle MP salaries, so the system by which she showered honours on editors and owners, a practice to which she put an end with a rule that no serving editor could be honoured, means you to have something to answer for. Whatever the path, it is Mr. Cameron who must lead the country to a better place. Mr. Miliband has shown himself capable of playing a good and principled part, and so should the public. Ultimately, political debate will only improve if the public want it to. If they channel the anger at recent events into an assessment of what kind of paper they read, whether they really want to live on a diet of celebrity, trivia, negativity, and abuse, to coin a phrase, we are all in this together.